Hi friends, how are you? So in today's video we will talk about cricket, and when we talk about cricket, first thing is that we usually talk about batters, and even if we talk about bowlers, we usually talk about fast bowlers, fast medium bowlers, and when we talk about big tournaments like World Cups, we often ignore the impact that spinners make. Now I did a lot of research. Obviously, I watched 99, 2006, 19, six World Cups already, 650 over ODI World Cups already. Like I watched all the matches live in all these World Cups, and this is the seventh World Cup. The 2023 World Cup will be the seventh World Cup that I'll be watching. So I watched all the matches. So that's why that is one thing. Plus, I did a lot of research for this video. So the title of this video is why I think Brad Hogg is the most impactful spinner in ODI World Cups. Now, friends, I'll give you some statistics. Before dwelling deep into the statistics, I'd just like to discuss one thing, and that is that many people say Australia uh, between 99 and 2011 they were the golden team, they were the top team, but it wouldn't have been possible without the players. And the second thing that we have to notice is that in 2003 World Cup, Shane Warne had announced his retirement before that World Cup, his one day retirement, and that was going to be his last World Cup, and he was going to be Australia's strike spinner in that World Cup. But since Warne got banned just before Australia's first match, Brad Hogg took that role, and he mastered that role over the 2003 and 2007 both the World Cups, and I'll tell you exactly how. And the second thing I just want to tell you is that I know that in 2003 Australia had like Glenn McGrath, Brett Lee, Jason Gillespie, and then Andy Bickle to replace him, and then obviously the spin part-time bowling of Darren Lehman and Andrew Simons, and in 2007 they had Nathan Bracken, Sean Tate, and Michael Clark also helped with some overs, part-time overs. But the statistics that I'm going to show you will just tell you how important Brad Hogg's role was in the middle overs, because he was the sole strike spinner, and the fact that he took wickets helped Australia win all the matches that he played in, all the World Cup matches he played in. He played 21 matches. Australia won all 21 of them. In fact, Australia won 22 matches in those two World Cups in which they were invincible, 2003 and 2007. But in these 21 matches, Brad Hogg took 34 wickets, which is a huge thing. And now let me give you all the statistics one by one. So according to the first statistic, so the first thing I just want to say is that some of the most prolific spinners of the one day game have been the great late Shane Warne, Anil Kumble, Mutaya Muralitharan, Sanat Jayasuriya, Shahid Afridi, Mushtaq Ahmed, Saqlain Mushtaq, and of late Adil Rashid, Daniel Vittori, Shakib Al Hassan, Harbhajan Singh, Abdul Razak, and a few more names. But out of these, only Shane Warne, Mutai Muralitharan, Mushtaq Ahmed, Adil Rashid, and Harbhajan Singh have been part of World Cup winning teams. And other than, like, all of them have been part of World Cup winning teams, but that too only once. All the bowlers that I named: Shane Warne, Mutai Muralitharan, Mushtaq Ahmed, Adil Rashid, Harbhajan Singh. If you go in the period before that, spinners had like part-time spinners, or a few overs were there, but spinners didn't have a huge role to play in any of the World Cups that the teams won till I think 87, or even in the 2015 edition. If you see, Australia in that World Cup did not go with any specialist wrist spinner. Obviously Steve Smith and David Warner could bowl a few overs, but they were not really needed. Okay, again, out of the names I've mentioned, only Mushtaq Ahmed in 1992 and Shane Warne in 99 had significant impact in the teams winning a World Cup. So, of all the names that I mentioned, in which spinners had a role to play, spinners were a part of the World Cup, the bowling plans, only Shane Warne in 99, the leg spinner, and in 92, the leg spinner Mushtaq Ahmed, in the World Cup in Australia had a role to play in the team winning the World Cup. In fact, Yuvraj Singh is the only other spinner with 15 or more wickets in a victorious World Cup campaign. And Yuvraj Singh was not even considered a frontline bowler, but yes, his contributions of 2011 will always be remembered. But yeah, he's not even looked at a specialist spinner. That is the truth. That's how people see it. And Shakib Al Hasan took, I think, 15 wickets in 2019. So that's another one. So my question is, why is Brad Hogg not seen as a legendary spinner of the game? Now, this video and this observation is not just based on pure statistics, but also on impact. So when I talk about impact, it is when we delve deep into the statistics. I'll tell you about the wickets, the matches, the dismissals also. So just be with me. First of all, Brad Hogg is a natural spinner of the ball. Now, I've watched most of the matches that he played in. The only time his ball didn't spin was when he bowled his killer flipper. His talk ball always turned away from the lefty and into the righty, and his wrong guns have been one of the most deceptive of all the wrist spinners who have ever played the game. You can have a look at the videos on YouTube. So some facts, some statistics. Now Brad Hogg took 34 wickets in 21 matches at 1.62 per match. That was his 1.62 means 1.62 wickets per match. His average was 19.23. That is less than 20 in those 21 matches. And he's not even when we talk about greats like Glenn McGrath, Brett Lee, we never ever take Brad Hogg's name. Australia won all those matches, and he also took one wicket each in both the World Cup finals that he played in. That was in 2003 and 2007. His economy rate was 4.12, which is again amazing. A great way to analyze his impact is by looking at the wickets he took for Australia in both those World Cups and those taken by his support spinners. Now, in 2003 World Cup, Brad Hogg took 13 wickets in 10 matches at an average of 24 and economy rate of 4. As I said, Australia won all those matches. Now, other than Brad Hogg, if we look at the performances of other spinners in that World Cup, Darren Lehman took 6 wickets and the great late Andrew Symonds took 2. So 8 wickets for Symonds and Lehman combined, and 13 wickets for Brad Hogg. Now, Brad Hogg's impactful performances in the 2003 World Cup include his 3-4-54 against Pakistan, 3-4-46 against Zimbabwe, 2-4-45 against Sri Lanka in the Super Sixes, and 2-4-30 against Sri Lanka in the semi-final. Except the final, Brad Hogg did not concede over 31 in any other match. And in the final, obviously, Australia were defending 359, so I think that's fine. In 2007 World Cup, Brad Hogg took 21 wickets in 11 matches at an average of less than 16 and an economy rate of less than 4. Can you imagine that? And by 2007, obviously, cricket had become really fast. That 434, 870-80 run match in Wanderers had already taken place 1 year prior to that match, to the 2007 World Cup. And T20 had come in, so batters were really attacking, and all the squads had really good powerful batters. So in that World Cup, if I look at his impactful performances, there were 4-4-27 against Netherlands, 3-4-61 against South Africa. Okay, 3-4-61 against South Africa, 3-4-56 against West Indies in the Super 8s, 2-4-35 against Sri Lanka, and 4-4-29 against New Zealand. And these are all big teams. They were among the favorites. And he did not concede more than 24 runs in any other match. In all these matches, he took at least 2-3 wickets, 4 wickets. But in even the matches he took less than that, he did not concede more than 24 runs. So that is some impact. Now, let's talk about the mode of dismissals. Now, in the 2007 World Cup, Adam Gilchrist affected 4 dismissals of the bowling of Brad Hogg. So 4 stumpings if you remember his wickets of Mahila Jayawardene, Andrew Flintoff, they're there on YouTube. If you can see and how deceptive those wrong runs were. So four stumpings in the 2007 World Cup, and if you guys have seen cricket in the recent years, Kuldeep Yadav is a similar kind of bowler who bowls wrong runs to the right-hander. Which is also quite deceptive, but I think Brad Hogg was the master. In the 2007 World Cup, Andrew Simons took 3 wickets, Michael Clarke took 2 wickets, and Brad Hodge took 1 wicket. That means all the other support spinners and everyone combined took just 6 wickets in that World Cup, where Brad Hogg took 21 wickets himself. So you can imagine the impact, the kind of impact Brad Hogg made in that World Cup. Okay, so in 2003 and 2007, he took 34 wickets, while all other Australian spinners took just 14 wickets in the 22 matches played in that World Cup. So in the 21 matches that Brad Hogg played alone, he took 34 wickets, and the other, like all the part-timers and everyone who bowled spin, who bowled part-time, they all of them combined took just 14 wickets in 22 matches in those World Cups. So you can see where the impact and the importance of Brad Hogg's performance in those World Cups. Now his performance in knockout matches. So when we are looking at statistics, let's just look at all the statistics. In the knockout matches, he never went wicketless. So both in 2007 and 2011 World Cup, the knockout matches were the semi-finals and finals. So he never went wicketless. He took wickets in both the semi-finals and both the finals of both the World Cups he played in. That is 2003 and 2007. Now, what more do you need of a spinner? And in both the finals, if you remember, Australia were defending a huge score, like 359 in the 2003 final, and in the 2007 final, for a 38 match, 283 runs was a huge target, and he took a crucial 2 for 30 in a low-scoring semi-final against Sri Lanka in 2003, and 1 for 24 in another low-scoring semi-final in 2007. Low-scoring because Australia bowled South Africa out cheaply. But his bowling was really important, integral to the team's success. And the other thing I just wanted to mention is that even in the 2007 final, his wicket of, I think, Kumar Sangakkara broke the partnership between Jayasuriya and Sangakkara, which was bothering Australia at one point because it was almost a 100-run partnership. So it was a match-threatening partnership, 116-run partnership. Oh, I'm sorry, for the second wicket between Sangakkara and Jayasuriya. So that was his last World Cup match. That turned out to be his last World Cup match. And in the 2003 World Cup final, he wasn't the most economical, but still took Yuvraj's wicket to, finish the threat, any threat that India could have posed on Australia, because we'd all seen just a few months before that World Cup final, in the NatWest final, what Yuvraj had done and how Yuvraj had finished matches, has always finished matches throughout his career. Now the prominent top order batsmen, the great late Shane Warne and Muttiah Muralitharan have gone wicketless in World Cup finals. So Muralitharan and Warne are considered among the two of the greatest spinners, which I think no one will doubt. But if you talk about one-day cricket, if you talk about World Cups, they've gone wicketless in finals that their teams have lost. But Brad Hogg has never gone wicketless in any World Cup final. So what does that tell you? The prominent top order batters that Brad Hogg dismissed in the 2003 edition were Yunus Khan, Andy Flower, Mahila Jayawardene, Arvinder De Silva and Yuvraj Singh. While the first 3 are among the greatest batters in cricket history, the last 2 are World Cup winners, that is Yuvraj Singh and Arvinder De Silva. And they contributed massively to their team's World Cup victories when they happened. That is, the prominent batters that Brad Hogg dismissed in 2007 edition were Brian Lara. Now listen to these names: Brian Lara, Ramnaresh Sarwan, Herschel Gibbs, Graham Smith, Jack Callis, Andrew Flintoff, Mahila Jayawardene again, Brendan McCullum, Peter Fulton and Kumar Sangakkara. So at least 10 huge wickets out of the 21 that he took in the 2007 World Cup. Okay, Now, while some of you might argue, again, some of you might argue that, Australia was dominant, at least in most games in 2007 World Cup. But here is my point. Had Brad Hogg not taken those 34 wickets in the middle overs, the other teams could have won at least a few of those matches, at least a few of them. Because without every player contributing, and someone whose contribution is so huge, so massive, the other teams might have had, a minor chance of winning at least a match. But if you still feel he's not at least among the most impactful spinners in World Cup cricket, and in for that reason in one day history, I don't know what your perspective is. Okay, and he bowled 4 important spells in the 2003 edition and 5 important ones, as I mentioned before. That is 9 important spells out of the 21 matches that he played, where he took 2 or more wickets, and which was 3 or more in most cases. Now, in the 2007 edition, he took over 2 wickets per match. So, in the I think 10 matches he played, he took 21 wickets. And Glenn McGrath was the player of the tournament with just 5 more wickets. McGrath took 26 wickets in that World Cup. Braddock took 21 wickets, and rightly so. McGrath also deserved it. Uh, Although I still feel Matthew Hayden should have at least shared the man of the tournament trophy with Glenn McGrath. But my question is, why is Brad Hogg not given due credit when we talk about the great spinners, the great bowlers of the game, the great performers of the World Cup in World Cup history? I know Australia was the most dominant team of that era, but it was the players who made Australia dominant, right? So without Brad Hogg's performance, would it even be possible? Please write down in the comment section. I really enjoyed recording this video, and I think this is something I've felt for a long time. But I thought before discussing it and bringing it to you guys, I'll bring all the statistics. And I really want, if someone wants to argue, someone has a good argument to make. If someone can find a better spinner in the history of World Cups, at least write it down in the comment section. I'd love to have an argument. I don't think there's anyone. I mean, you cannot get anyone. You can't bring anyone. Yes, Shane Warne, Mutai Murali have done a great job in World Cups, and they're legends of the game. I respect that, respect them. But if you look at the winning impact, let's discuss, let's argue. Love you guys, take care and enjoy. Let's see you in the next video.